Hello everyone, welcome to this new class. Today we're going to learn about the past simple. And it's important to know the meaning and the use of this tense. So when do we use the simple past tense? We use the simple past to express the idea that an action started and finished at a specific time in the past. For example, yesterday I went to the supermarket. That is something that I did in the past and already finished. Okay? What are some common time expressions used with the past tense? Here we have some examples. In 1970, which is a past year, yesterday, last week, last month, last year, and ago, for example, a day ago, a month ago, a year ago. Let's see some examples with these expressions. Last month, I went to the beach. I traveled to Australia in 1995. I went to the cinema last week. I graduated a year ago. So these are some examples of sentences in past simple by using these common expressions. You can also use them to talk about the things that you did in the past. This is the structure of the past simple. Here we have the affirmative, the interrogative, and the negative form of this. But first, let's analyze the affirmative form that is composed by the subjects, as you can see. For example, I, you, he, she. These are subjects. And then the verb in the past form. Here we're taking as example the verb play, which is a regular verb, and that's why it ends with ed. So this verb is already in past. And here we have the meanings in Spanish. Let's see some examples. I played, he played, we played. Interrogative form. It is composed by the auxiliary did which goes on the first place, then the subjects, and finally the verb, but is not necessary to conjugate it in past because the did is already there. The did already tells you that you're asking a question in simple past. Let's see some examples. Did I play? Did he play? Did we play? And negative form is like this. First, the subjects, then the auxiliary did and not, and finally the verb. For example, I did not play, he did not play, you did not play. Okay? And there you have the meanings in Spanish. Now, let's see the verb to be, which is different from the rest of the verbs in past. You see that it's not necessary to add any auxiliary did because the verb to be is itself the own auxiliary. This is the affirmative form of the verb to be in past. I was, you were, he was, she was, it was, we were, you were, they were. These identify that I, he, she, it, they go with was and you. We, you and they go with were. In negative is like this. I wasn't, which is the same of I was not, but in a shorter form. You weren't, he wasn't, she wasn't, it wasn't, We weren't, you weren't, and they weren't. For interrogative, it is necessary to change the order of words, placing the verb to be in past on the first place and the subject on the second place. For example, was I, were you, was he, was she, was it, were we, were you, were they. Let's see some examples. I was sad yesterday. He wasn't angry last night. Were you at the school last week? This is how you can make sentences using the verb to be in the past tense. Let's see some examples. She did not read the book. Ella no leyó el libro. This is affirmative. They talked to me. Ellos me hablaron. This is affirmative too. We played the piano. Nosotros tocamos el piano. This is affirmative. Did the children eat their sandwiches? Los niños comieron sus sándwiches. This is interrogative. Maya didn't come to my house. Maya no vino a mi casa. This is negative. Did we go to the park last week? Fuimos al parque la semana pasada. This is interrogative. And now it is important to know that past tense verbs are divided into regular and irregular verbs. For the regular verbs, we add ed at the end of the verb, but sometimes you have to drop the e or change the y to I first before adding the ed. For example, play, played, visit, visited, meet, met, talk, talked, finish, finished, crash, crashed, share, shared, carry, carried, cry, cried. And also some verbs are irregular. It means that they change the whole structure of the verb change when converting it into past. Let's see some examples. Bring, brought, win, won, go, went, tell, told, do, did, drink, drank, teach, taught, wrong, run, make, made. And some verbs stay the same, so it means that they are the same in present and also in past. For example, hit, hit, quit, quit, coast, coast, hoard, hoard, could, put, put. Now let's see some examples by using these verbs. I finished my career 3 years ago. Yo terminé o finalicé mi carrera hace 3 años. An example with an irregular verb. He did the homework yesterday. Él hizo la tarea ayer. Another example. She cut her finger last week. Ella se cortó su dedo la semana pasada. Guys, there are more verbs in irregular and irregular verbs. So it is important to look about them and learn them, but it's necessary to memorize them. So please take a look on them and try to memorize as more as you can. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you for watching this class and see you in the next video. Bye bye.